eyes on the beat.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Cheers to another crazy week in the NFL. I am with my homie. Introduce yourself. For those who do not know, we've been here for a few weeks now, so you definitely should know by now who I'm rocking with. But if you don't, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Notty. It's the same soup just reheated. Just another day for some truth. You can follow me at One Man Cave, and yeah, me and Katja. Just simply sports. Getting it in.
You know what time it is. Look, you guys, I'm not going to even hold you, okay? Because the Chiefs, I don't know what happened. So honestly, I came into this game, I said, the Chiefs are going to win this game, right? They don't have Jaden, right? Like, so I didn't expect them to win. But in that first half, I said, oh, okay, like, hold on. The Commanders are holding their own. You know, like the Chiefs are not getting too crazy. The score's within reach. And they went to halftime tied 7-7. I go to the kitchen after halftime. I come back. I'm like, what the heck did I miss? What happens? Like the Chiefs, I don't know what the Commanders discussed in the locker room at halftime. But I'm just like, what happened? Like, what happened? The Chiefs came out and just completely just ran over them in the second half of this game. And the Commanders were just looking like they had no answers. Now, I know they do have some injuries, obviously, so that's going to make a difference. But I'm just like, if you were able to hold your own in the first half, how you just let it go? Like, just let it go in the second half. When you watched this game, what did you think?
Well, I felt like you did. I thought the Chiefs would win the game. I wasn't sure, I think Washington was too aggressive in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They left points on the field. They took a lot of risks. Kansas City was too, but Kansas City is the better team. So they could afford to take the risk that Washington couldn't really afford to take. But Washington was taking those risks, going forward on fourth down, not converting, things of that nature. Going forward when you could have had three, just try to put points on the board early. But they were too aggressive, and then after the half, once they panned up to that press box, and I saw Taylor Swift up there, I knew what the deal was.
You know, they haven't really showed her as much as when they first started dating, which I'm grateful for. Because I was like, if they show this girl eating French fries again, I'm like, we get it. They're dating. They're in love. You don't have to show her every single second, people. We get it. She's there. She's cheering her man on. Like, we get it enough. It's like, it was overkill. So I'm glad they finally just relaxed with that, because that was really driving me crazy. I was like, I don't want to see Taylor no more. I love Taylor, but I want to see her again.
Well, those are prop bets. How many times would the camera show Taylor Swift?
Really? I didn't see that on my
times, 3
FanDuel.
times. Right. It ain't gonna be on your FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
But Vegas has it as a prop bet. So, people bet on that type of thing.
I mean, look, it was getting to be a bit much, honestly, but I'm glad that they tapered that down. I think Travis Kelce, what he called his 83rd touchdown?
Yes.
Was that in this game?
Yes.
What do you think? Do you see Travis Kelce playing past this season? Because honestly, I don't. No matter what happens, I think he's like done after the season.
I think he's done after this season. I think he's given it everything he has just to get through this season. But after this, I think he's gonna shake Pat Mahomes' hand and say, "Man, we had a good ride."
Yeah, I get that vibe as well. But with that being said, they got Rashid Rice back. He's looking as great as he has ever looked. The Chiefs, to me, now look. Patrick Mahomes, I think, had 2 interceptions in this game. Obviously, they still won the game because they're the better team, and obviously they had the better QB, and I do believe better coaching. But although they won, I'm like, there are still some things that have me just like, I'm not sold yet on the Chiefs. Is it just me? Because I'm always on that, like on that. I'm always looking at. I'm like, okay, they won, but like, I'm glad you won, but I'm looking at what happened here against like they play my Bills next week. Let's go, Josh.
That'll be a good test.
Huh?
That'll be a good test for both
It is,
teams.
yeah. I mean, well, look, the Bills have a problem, on the defensive side, so we're gonna see how that goes. But against a better team, those two interceptions, that score could have really got out of control. Like could have helped put the game away a little bit earlier, or seal the game, should I say, seal the win. So for me, there's just some things like I don't like that I'm seeing. Obviously, they still have Andy Reid, they still got Patrick Mahomes, so you're not going to count this team out at all. And I'm glad that Rashid is back, and I think his spark, him coming back has given the team like a breath of fresh air in a sense, because they were kind of struggling early on. But at the same time, like I'm not sold. Like I don't see them. I don't look at them and say, you know what, they're gonna go back to the Super Bowl this year. Is it just me? Like, what do you see when you look at them?
Yeah, I think it's just you because since Rashid Rice has been back, they've been on fire. The offense has been on fire. The defense is the defense. The defense comes out every week, and they play pretty great just about every week. Chris Jones up front, McDuffie in the back, Tranquil, all those guys, they balling. Early on, it was the offense that had been struggling. Last year, it was the offense that was struggling, and they still went to the Super Bowl. Now, with Rashid Rice back, it seems like he's scoring 2 touchdowns a game. Travis Kelce is playing better.
The Super Bowl.
Right, Travis
Kelce
got
run over, but they got there.
Yeah, the offensive line wasn't as good. The offensive line has been revamped. Like I said, with Rashid back, Travis Kelce is playing better. All the other receivers, Juju, Schuster, and Xavier Worthy, and those guys, they get in where they fit in, and everybody seems to be happy in their role. And shoot, they're putting up 28, 30 points every game. So if the defense is going to play at the level that it's been playing at, and the offense is going to up the ante, it's going to be hard for the teams in the AFC to get past Kansas City. They're still the team to beat, in my opinion.
See, for me, like I don't expect, when I look at Patrick Mahomes, like I have a certain like standard, right? Because he is so talented. I'm not used to seeing him throw multiple interceptions per game. That to me is a bit alarming. And to me, I'm looking at that. There's just some things within the offensive line, although obviously they have gotten better with Rashid Rice back and Xavier Worthy back, from his, his shoulder. But there's just some things I'm just like, I mean, I know they're going to get better. I expect them to, should I say?
Right.
But at the same time, it's just something that gives me that cause for pause. I don't look at them the same way I did. And maybe it could be because of the beatdown they got last year in the Super Bowl. But even like last year, watching them throughout the whole season, I was like, this team is not repeating. Like this team looks like something's just off. And of course they were winning. So everybody was kind of like, just like, oh, they're winning, but they're undefeated, all these different things. I'm like, but it's how it looks. Like, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like convincing wins. It was like a bad call, or somebody missed the kicker missed a kick or something. It was like just barely like getting a win. So for me, and then it's not happening right now, obviously. But when you play against a team that's not as good, and they have a lot of injuries, you're supposed to win, right? Like you're a better team. Like you're expected to do that.
I agree with that, but this streak started off with beating Detroit, and Detroit is a good team.
They are.
And that was on the national stage. And so that win against Detroit, and then these last couple wins, they've looked legit. They look like the Kansas City Chiefs that I'm used to. You remember last year, Rashid Rice, he got hurt. He was done. He was done for the whole year. So the offense kind of bogged down. Now you get to see how valuable of a piece he is to Pat Mahomes. And right now, Kansas City is rolling. Like you said, next week they got Buffalo.
Let's go, Joshua Tyrell Allen.
Right, we're going to see, because this is not Andy Dalton. It's going to be a whole nother machine that they're going up against.
Absolutely. So right now, you said the Chiefs are the team to beat. You see them going Super Bowl again this year? Is that what you expect them to do? If you had to bet money on it, they're going to get back.
If you're going to allow me to flip-flop on my pick, earlier before the season, I picked Baltimore.
You did?
And yes, I picked Baltimore, the big win this week. Maybe they can go off on the run, but as of right now, if I was a betting man and I got to pick it over, I'd definitely take the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. All right. So we're going to see. We're going to do that right there. We're going to see. I'm gonna move on, all right, because this game to me was really interesting. Going to the Steelers against the Packers. Now, in that first half, I was like, what's going on with the Packers? Right? Like they started off really slow to me, like in my opinion. Then the second half of the game, they picked it up, and Aaron was just getting knocked all over the place. I was like, I text you, I was like, I'm concerned. Like they better be careful before he's like hurt for the rest of the season because he's older. He's not getting back up as quick. Like, you got to protect that man. Buy him some more time.
Yeah.
But they in the second half it was more of a convincing win. So much so that I don't know if you heard the sound bite. I'm gonna play it real quick. I don't know if you heard it. I found it really, really interesting. And that was like the top of the conversation. Like, how far can the Packers go? How everybody goes, like everybody's like prisoners of the moment. Like you have one great game and it's like, oh my God, he should be in the MVP conversation. Like it's like, wait, they had one good game, they lost 5. Oh, hold on. So I put a comment here. Oh, thank you so much, Gasso, beginning those ends. Congratulations on 1,000 milestone, just the beginning. Thank you. I hit my 1,000. I finally hit my 1,000 subscribers.
Congrats on that. That what's up.
Thank you so much, you guys. Gasso, beginning those ends. You've been here rocking out every Monday. The comments, even WNBA as well. I appreciate your support. Notty's been here, a part of how I got to my 1,000. So I appreciate you both. Everybody, who supports, I appreciate you so much. I wanted to make sure I say that. Yeah, it's been a long road. It has been a road, you guys. This content creation is not for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? A lot of work.
Right.
It's a lot of work. Where my sounds at, you guys? Why can't I find my sounds? Oh my goodness. And I did this. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
God saw beginning, knows no end. I'm gonna remember your name in a minute. I know you put it out in the chat a few weeks ago.
Did you say Nasir?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Nasir because you said it was your son had a teammate by the same name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Nasser. Yeah,
Nasser. That's it.
It was Nasser. Yeah,
That's it. There we go.
I think we said Nasir. I was thinking about Nas when he put it in the chat.
There it is, Nasir. Right.
Yep, he put it back in the chat. Yep. Yep. All right, you guys. I got my sound together.
Did your starting quarterback prove anything new tonight in how he played?
He's him. Everybody in the league, if y'all not woke, please wake up, get the crust out your eyes, because he is him and 10 is time.
All right. He is him. Period. He is coming. So if you don't know, get the crust out your eye. I love me a supportive teammate, but realistically, I can't say that he's him. I can't.
Me either.
I love the support from the top. Look, dude, I love it. Like, you should always big up your team, your quarterback, like your wide receivers, whatever, your coach. But he's inconsistent to me. I can't say he's him. Does he have the talent? In my opinion, yes, but he's inconsistent. Like, against better teams, to me, like, he kind of shrinks in certain moments. What do you think, though? Maybe it's just me.
I feel the same way you do, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are no slouch. That was a good win for Jordan Love. Now, I say this. The last 2 weeks, I don't know what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
The defense, I don't know what happened. Yeah.
This is not the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that I'm accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Watt is not getting to the quarterback the way he needs to get to the quarterback. I mean, that whole front line, Highsmith, Hayward, all those guys that will not get to the quarterback the way that they're supposed to. And on the back end, I mean, the quarterback guys are wide open. I just don't understand what's going on, what Mike Tomlin got to do to get these guys back on their grind the way they used to be. But this is not the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that I'm accustomed to seeing. In the last 2 weeks, they've got thrashed by both Jordan Love and Joe Flacco.
So I believe I was watching earlier, and it was saying that I didn't realize this, that Pittsburgh Steelers, like, their defense, I think, is the highest cap, like in like all of NFL, like they paid the most money for their defensive line.
Yeah, I can believe that. It makes sense.
That's unacceptable. Unacceptable, because TJ was not playing about his money. I'm always for players getting paid for their services, so I'm not mad at it. But once you've been paid, I need you to show up. I need you to show up.
Exactly, and it seemed like when they got everybody back healthy,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they started playing bad. I just don't understand. Where's the defense? I want to see the defense that was out there when they played Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That's the defense I want to see. They were
Mm-hmm.
all over Gabriel that night. They was all over the running backs. Judkins couldn't get anything. That's the defense I want to see. But for whatever reason, that's not the defense that's showing up. So hopefully Mike Tomlin fixes it, and he fixes it fast because they're losing ground on the division lead.
So what do you that's what I was going to say, like they had, and that was the whole point of this segment right here. They had a nice little cushion. And then now, they lost to Joe Flacco. I don't know if Joe's going to come back or what's happening with that or how soon he should. They should. I haven't heard any updates in terms of like when we can expect him to come back. So I don't. The jury's still out on that. But Joe Flacco can still throw that ball. He can still put about a good 30-something points.
Right.
Him and Chase, that relationship, that chemistry is just it's working. But I will say that they lost to Flacco. The Ravens won. Action Jackson should be back this week, they said. So I'm thinking now, do you think the Steelers blew their chance?
Well, the Pittsburgh is still in good standings. I mean, Cincinnati losing to the Jets, that was a huge loss.
Oh, that was crazy loss. They could have won that game. They should have won that game.
And Cleveland has only won 2 games, and the Ravens have only won 2 games. So there's still a cushion there, but they could have put it away.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
They haven't put it away. They still got the Ravens with a backdoor chance of getting in. Joe Burrow isn't supposed to come back to December, but if Flacco keeps putting up 38 points a game, chances I just can't believe Cincinnati defense is going to give up 39 every game. So I expect them to win a couple more games and stay in the hunt. So Pittsburgh, now they have to battle every week. Like next week, it's a big game for them. They need to win, or else that lead is going to continue to dwindle, and they can't afford to have that happen.
To me, this game was more. I can't tell this game was more about the Steelers' defense or if it was more about the Packers, because we're so used to. We always say no matter what, no matter who's at Mike Tomlin has playing quarterback, we know that the defense is going to show up. And because of that defense, they're always going to be able to win you some games. We just need a quarterback to come in and manage and not lose us the game. And we can still get to the playoffs. And then whatever happens from there happens. If you can get in, you can win. I always say that. That's my motto.
Correct.
You can get in, you can win. But I don't know. Something happened. Like I said, the defense, and it started for me last season. Like I know people were blaming Russell Wilson for how they just fell off the cliff towards the end of the season. But the defense was MIA then too. I couldn't find TJ last year towards the end of the season. I was like, where's he at? What's going on? But Russ obviously having what happened in Denver and then coming there, he took the blame and kind of shouldered it. And now you have Aaron Rodgers there, but the defense is still kind of inconsistent. They're there one couple games, some games they're not. TJ's there, some games he's not. Like last night, second half, he was non-existent. What do you think has happened? Something to me has to be a locker room, because I'm just what you got paid, you got some new players. What's going on? Has Mike Tomlin lost the locker room?
I don't think he's lost the locker room. I think he's an excellent coach. Football is a long season. And sometimes you have lulls and you just got to retool. But also, let me give the Packers some credit, though. The Packers came out and they played a great football game. I mean, this is a good football team. And Michael Parsons, he showed up yesterday. He was on Aaron Rodgers behind. Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over a couple times. I mean, the turnovers kind of hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers, too.
But that pressure will do it to you.
Yeah. So, and Josh Jacobs and those guys were playing well. The receivers, Romeo Dobbs was open. Christian Watson came back. He made a couple plays. The Green Bay Packers are a good football team. They've only lost 1 game this whole season. They're in the top of the NFC North right now. So they're not a bad team. They're a good team that a lot of people are picking them to go all the way. So let's give them some credit too.
I will give them credit, but like I said, it's the inconsistencies for me. I guess everybody has good games and bad games. That's to be expected. You're not going to win every single game in dominant fashion. But thinking back to when they played the Cowboys, and they tying that game, it was an actual clear-cut winner. I think about all the points the Cowboys put up, and that defense is supposed to be, a caliber defense, and last night it looked like it, but against the Cowboys, it definitely did not. So that's like, and I think at the time, was CD even playing that game? I don't think he was playing that game. I think it was pretty much like George Pickens, Ferguson. Yeah, right. Am I tripping? When they played the Cowboys, CD was out, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, was CD out? I think he was out.
I think he was out.
Right, he was out that game.
But you look at the Cowboys this week, and it wasn't a good week. So it just goes back and forth.
It does. But if you look at the season, that Cowboy game was the worst game that Green Bay defense played.
Mm-hmm.
The other time they lost to, I believe they lost to it was the Cleveland Browns. And the Joe Flacco game, when the field goal kicker, but the defense played well, but Cleveland defense played really well that game. So the Green Bay defense has only had one bad game, and that was to the number one offense in football. So I kind of give them a pass on that.
Are they still? Go ahead.
Right. But even that game, Jordan Love lit the Cowboys up too. So Green Bay is playing really good football right now. We'll see how far they can get, but they have to be a favorite in the NFC if we just talking about favorites today.
They're one of your favorites. So are you gonna go? Are you ready to say Chiefs and
no?
Okay.
Fly Eagles fly. The Eagles are looking good.
Hold on. Watson is almost a top 10 wide receiver when healthy.
No.
I was so happy to see him back. I'm a hair girl. I'm like, his hair grew out. I was like, oh my God, he got new hairdo. I was like, his hair grew because I haven't seen him in so long. But it was really good to see him out there. Obviously he came back, and had a great game. So it was really, really good. You don't think when he's healthy? No, you don't see him in top 10?
No, he's not that good.
Who are your top 2 wide receivers, on top of your head, like right now?
Jetta. Not necessarily in this order, because I probably would take Chase first and then Jetta.
Okay.
Amon-Ra in Detroit. He's one of those guys. Jackson and Jigba in Seattle. Chicago got a good one. And Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is really good.
Yes.
With the Jets. I'm pretty sure there's other guy. I like Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is balling.
Yeah.
Who else out there? What I'm at? Probably like number 6.
You like number 6, yeah. Who'd you take from the Bears?
Doomsday.
Oh, okay. Oh, wrong. Okay, wrong. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you like a 7. Okay, 7.
Yeah. McLaurin up in Washington. He's really good. If we got a quarterback that can give him the ball.
That was a good touchdown. Did you think it was a touchdown tonight?
Oh yeah. That touchdown.
I'm like, both of them toes is pointed. He's in.
Oh yeah, he was in, and that one he caught on the sideline. That was a great catch. I want to say Mbuka, but he's a rookie, and I would put.
He's really talented.
Yeah, he's really talented. I would put Mike Evans in there. I mean, he's only gonna give me 1,000 yards every season, so I like him too. Yeah. So it's a few, but Watson wouldn't be up there.
You didn't say AJ Brown at all.
Oh, I mean Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is better than AJ Brown.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. I like Devontae Smith. But AJ Brown is up there as well. I got to put him up there. And CeeDee Lamb.
Oh yeah, how about CD?
George Pickens.
He's temperamental, but he is really talented.
Yeah, he's really talented. But Watson is nowhere near.
What about Nico? He said Nico Collins. When he's motivated, he's a top 10.
I would put Nico Collins right outside of the top 10.
So you wouldn't put Christian there at all? Like
right in the top 15. No, I wouldn't put Christian Watson nowhere near the top 10. He's just not that good. He drops too many passes. He's injury prone. I can't count on him, and Green Bay can't count on him either. So that's why they keep going in the draft and taking wide receivers. That's why they went and got Matthew Golden. That's why they bought in Romeo Dobbs. That's why they went and got Reed last year, who's out with the Liz Frank injury. They can't trust Watson either. So, nah.
Well, I think he's gonna prove you wrong the rest of this season. He'll make you eat your words.
We'll see.
Yeah, but what do you think? I saw the Steelers. They are signing MVS. Do you like that signing?
The Steelers been looking for another wide receiver for a minute.
They
I
could
don't
have
know.
kept Pickens. I'm like, they should have kept Pickens if you ask me. I wouldn't have got rid of him. I think
well,
he's very talented now. Like I said, his attitude, is something different. But talent alone,
very temperamental, and it comes to a point where you were gonna have to pay him, and then they end up paying DK Metcalf. So I kind of get it, but I think MVS is just another guy. Just another guy.
He's just a guy. Okay.
He's just a guy. Maybe they can put him in some positions to make a play here and there, but I don't expect him to get 1,000 yards, 60, 70 catches and then like that. He's not that type of guy. He's just a guy. Maybe because he's had history with Aaron Rodgers before, maybe they have some sort of camaraderie or some sort of chemistry in the locker room. But he's been everywhere. He's just a guy.
Okay. He's like, yeah, he's just a guy. Like,
right. Okay.
So you don't think he'll give them just a little bit of life? Not really.
I mean, he'll help a little bit. Another guy who can potentially take the top off the ball, which open all that underneath stuff up for Aaron Rodgers to help the team out. So don't get me wrong. I think they signed him for a reason, and he'll take the top off. He'll give them a threat down the field, and he'll make a couple plays down the field. He'll make 2 or 3 plays, not in the game. For the rest of the season, he'll make 2 or 3 plays.
For the whole season? For the whole rest of the season, just 2 or 3?
There'll be 2 or 3 big plays, though.
Wow. You wow. For first Watson, now MVS, you just throwing some daggers out there tonight. Okay.
These are average guys. I mean, I take T. Higgins over Watson. It's a lot. I think Watson is the.
Well, I mean, T. Higgins obviously is better. You said it like T. Higgins was.
I think Watson is the 3rd or 4th best receiver on his own team.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. So Jaden Reed is better than him. Matthew Golden is better than him. Romeo Dobbs is better than him, and Tucker Kraft is better than him. That's 4. So he's the 5th best receiver they have on the team.
Well, Tucker, he had himself a game yesterday.
Oh yeah. He's legit.
All right, you guys are gonna move along because the Eagles looked very, very good yesterday, and AJ was not there on top of it.
Right.
So that was what was most notable for me. It was good to see Saquon out there doing Saquon-like things, because I feel like this season he's been like, I don't know, like an afterthought almost, it seems. But this season he was out there, just yesterday, he was out there, beginning of the game, like right there into the end zone,
down the field.
Immediately. They couldn't do nothing with him at all. I was like, don't even bother running behind him because you're not gonna catch him. Right. Just get back and get ready for the next, to get ready to run the next play. I like what I saw, honestly. Dare I say, I know it's one game. When you think about everything that has happened thus far this season, even this season, we're going back a couple of seasons with the tension that seems to be there within this locker room, especially with AJ and the way they're calling the offense. It's obvious that he's not happy, and they're saying that he had a hamstring injury. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm like, yeah, okay.
He better have a hamstring. Yeah, he better have a hamstring with all this gambling scandals going on. You better have a hamstring.
To me, it's given. We're gonna sit you down because we need you to stop. Like you keep tweeting too much. What did he tweet last week after they won and he had a great game, March? What was it? You used me without using me, or something like that. He tweeted, and then I think I saw also that I don't know how true it is. I don't follow everybody's Instagram and who they follow and what they post, but they were saying that he took down all his tweets about Jalen Hurts. Like any tweets where he was bigging Jalen up, he removed them from his profile.
Right.
So when you do stuff like that, it's really giving what's going on. So that could be why they say you got a hamstring issue. You're gonna sit down this week. What you think though? Do you think they can actually win going forward without him?
Yeah, that's childish of AJ, but they can win without AJ. They can win games without AJ. There's no doubt about it. But
a chip all the way to the chip though.
We need AJ Brown. AJ Brown is a big piece, especially if you're talking about going all the way and winning a championship. But we need AJ Brown to have his head on right and to be focused and to be a team player. Because, like I said, he's a big play guy. He's real strong. He's a big play. He can get the ball. He can run through guys. He can take it all the way to the house. But he's not the route runner that Devontae Smith is. He's not the the precision hands like Devontae Smith is. They complement each other. And then when you add Goddard in there, and then you got Johan Dotson. He can make some plays. And of course, Saquon Barkley. You saw how the team look when he is a threat. AJ, just play team ball. We good. We can win it all. We can go back to back. And we need you. We need you to win it all. We can win games without AJ Brown, as you saw yesterday. But in order to win it all, I believe they're going to need AJ Brown.
I definitely think having him there on the roster obviously makes them stronger because, like I said, if he's out there in that field, even if he's not, he's not getting all the targets that he would like to get, you still got to account for him. Like, you're not going to just leave him over there wide open, so you still got to account for his presence on the field.
Right.
But for me, I want happy players who want to be here. if I'm like the GM and I'm an owner. So I feel like a conversation needs to be had because at this point, there'll be the trade deadline will be approaching. Obviously, there's still plenty of time for that. But I think you can get more for him now if you were to trade him now than later on. Because right now you got teams who need someone like him who are probably willing to give up more pieces at the moment in time to make sure they have a chance like really make the playoffs or make a playoff push, adding someone like him to their roster, than in the offseason when we get to drafts and everything else.
Right. Well, I'll say this. Two things. One, wide receivers are divas. They make noise. Definitely good wide receivers. They're going to make a little noise. But you just got to live with the noise that they make as long as they go and produce. Second, if they were to trade them, I wouldn't want the Eagles to trade him for draft picks. Trade him for another player that you can use right now. For example,
of course. Yeah, that's what I said do right now.
If I was the Eagles and I was exploring the trade of AJ Brown, I'll see if I can trade him to Cleveland, who needs a big play wide receiver.
Trade him to Buffalo. Oh my gosh!
Hey, but y'all don't got Myles Garrett, and if Myles Garrett was with the Eagles, you can go ahead and just get him the Lombardi Trophy.
They're just look. We're wasting. Well, yeah. I mean, but Myles Garrett, I can get that. But Myles Garrett over there with that defense, I absolutely get what you're saying from that standpoint. If I'm AJ, I'm not going there. Like, who
wait a minute.
What are we doing?
You're gonna get if you want the ball, if that's all you're concerned about, you're gonna get the ball in Cleveland because you're gonna be the only guy they can really get the ball through. Okay, so you'll get out of the way. Y'all probably be losing a ton of games, but you'll get the ball. If you want to win, be Jalen Hurts' friend. And start complaining. Keep your book. He got his books. Keep his books and make sure you highlight positive passages that'll motivate you.
I was having a conversation with Brother D on Saturday about this, and I said I felt like AJ is a bit of a distraction. His tweets, not his play, but his tweets, and he said he didn't think it was a distraction. Only distraction I believe he said. Hopefully, I'm not misquoting him. If it was affecting the team, like what was going on within the team.
I mean,
to me, I think it's a distraction because I'm like, we're talking about the tweets. You know what I mean? Like you won, then you tweet now you use me, but when you want to use me, something like that, you tweeted, and now you're taking down posts that you had of Jalen Hurts. So people are like, what's going on there? People look at that kind of stuff nowadays. When you start hitting the unfollow buttons, like, oh, they unfollowed each other. What's happening? Like they took the pictures down. What's going on?
But players,
what do you think though? How do you see it?
Players don't supposed to be paying attention to that kind of stuff.
I probably was finding the media. I don't know who saw it.
Right,
Who keeps up with this stuff?
I mean, the media is the media, and the media get the word out. Right. They're entertainers, and maybe some people in like Jalen Hurts' family say, "Hey, AJ Brown. I saw that he took the tweet down about." Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm a professional football player.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time to be getting involved. I gotta study my playbook. I gotta know the plays.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta, be in the film meetings. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
practice. I just don't have time to be paying attention to social media. And if players are paying attention to social media and allowing that to dictate their mental, then that's where the problem is right there. The problem is with them.
Hold up. We got a comment. Trade AJ Brown to Chargers for the rookie Trey Harris, Ole Miss. Trey has unlimited potential with head coach Reed. What you think about that?
Trey Harris is a young receiver who needs more time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
He's not ready made like AJ Brown is ready made. When you're trying to go on a Super Bowl run, you want to go with those guys who are already ready made. You don't really have too much time to develop a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you trade for another wide receiver, the wide receiver has to come in. He has to learn the playbook. He has to get acclimated to Jalen Hurts. They got to get on the same page and all that type of thing. It's just too much right now. That's why I say if you're gonna trade AJ Brown, trade him for a guy that you can use right now. And Myles Garrett can get to the quarterback no matter what system he's in. And then you won't need as much offense if you got a guy like Myles Garrett on your team who can help you stop the other team from scoring. So, but other than that, I don't want to get another wide receiver in who has to come in and learn the playbook and get acclimated. I mean, build chemistry with Jalen Hurts. That's just too much time. You got to. It's week to week in this league.
Myles Garrett, I believe he had 5 sacks yesterday, and they were saying I saw that he has the most career sacks of any player like before the age of 30, which is really, really incredible when you think about how long the NFL has been around. And I saw that he was frustrated in the game, obviously, because it wasn't a good game for Cleveland. But I'm just like, dude, you did it to yourself. Like, you did it to yourself. Like, you requested a trade, and then you decided to stay for the money. You knew when you decided to stay for the money that they didn't have that QB situation like together, and you decided to stay anyway. So I'm just like, take your money and then be quiet, because I don't feel bad for you. I really, really don't.
Right. I think he playing the game. He took his money. He's happy with his money. But when you get in front of the media, you have to say the right things. I'm angry. I want to win. But after you get off that podium and you get that check and you see all them zeros on there, you happy you did what you did. So, I just think he's saying the right things in front of the media. And I believe he wants to win. Don't get me wrong. But I don't believe it's boiling over to the point where he doesn't want to play, because he want to get that $41 million guaranteed.
I definitely believe that he likes the money, right? Because who doesn't like money, especially when you're getting that kind of money,
right?
But at the same time, when you hit that kind of accolade, like to do that, like to have the most career sacks before age 30. When you think about how long NFL's been around, and then you look at where he's at, I just feel like at the same time it's a waste. It's like a waste of such a talent, you know what I mean? Because it's like you want to get your money, but I'm also here to win. They're really there for a short time, not a long time. In all actuality, this is a young man's game. As you get 30, 31, they're like, oh, you're old. They don't want to pay you. They start bringing the younger pieces in, and you're an afterthought in spite of how terrific you've been all these years. So for me, I'm like, look, go where you can get your money or close enough to it, but you also can contend, because these years go by fast, and you only one injury away from being on somebody's bench or being an afterthought. I don't know. I hope that, I think I told you yesterday, I really hope that when he looks back, he's happy with what he accomplished in his career and what he has not been able to accomplish.
I believe Myles Garrett is an intelligent guy. So with that said, I believe when he signed the contract and they brought him in, they said, look, they brought him in with no quarterback. Flacco was the guy. Kenny Pickett was the guy they had signed. When they brought him in, they probably told him, we're going to draft a quarterback probably in the 3rd round, and we're going to have to develop a guy. This is where we're at right now. The offense is not that good. We're going to need you to play lights out on defense. The defense is ready.
But the defense yesterday wasn't that good either. I mean, he was good, but it was 32 points?
Yeah, but they had some turnovers. Big play Gabe turned the ball over twice,
Not big play
and
game. Little
and
Dylan.
that
Little Dylan's our corner.
those turnovers hurt the team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And
turnovers are never gonna be a good thing.
and also, man, with the way Drake May is playing, I mean, he's playing lights out right now. So
He's all right. Stop it.
he's up there in the MVP conversation that we had to talk about today. Drake May is playing on a whole nother level right now. So
Yeah, I saw they had Mayday going across the screen. I was crying.
yeah,
I was like, Mayday.
yeah. I mean, guys looking like the second coming of Tom Brady.
Okay, so y'all doing too much now. Now y'all getting now it's out of control, and we have to stop. We have to take it easy with the comparisons because we just go from A all the way to Z in a matter of a quarter of a game.
Well, I'll say this:
the young man's talented. We're not gonna put him in that conversation with the GOAT.
Well, it's fair because He playing with the same offensive coordinator that Tom Brady played with, and talent wise,
Super Bowl?
Well, he's only in his second year. That's what I was going to get to. It. Talent wise, he's better than Tom Brady. I don't know in between the score if he's better than Tom Brady, and that's what we're gonna have to find out. So you gotta give him time. It's only his second year in the league, but I mean, right now, so far so good. I gotta give him his due.
Yeah. Okay. So
first place New England Patriots.
Say it again.
The first place New England Patriots.
Yeah, that'll change. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it, because one thing, he is not Joshua Tyrell Allen. Okay,
no, he's not that.
No, they were comparing him though, like last season, like, oh, he's like kind of like similar to Josh Allen. Jackson Dart is similar to Josh. I'm like, y'all just be comparing anybody to anybody.
Well, I can see the Jackson Dart
like Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, y'all just throwing anybody comparisons.
No, I can see the Jackson Dart comparison to Joshua Tyrell, but Drake May is a better passer of the football than Josh Allen. He's just not the football. I'm just saying passer of the football. Now, when you talk about running, playmaking, hard to win the game at the end, I don't know all that yet. But I'm just saying, just throwing the football. Yeah, he throws the ball way better than Josh Allen does.
Okay, look, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be
knock on Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the MVP, the reigning MVP.
Yes, he is.
I respect that.
Well, hold on. I forgot. I'm not going to speak. We went up to a different conversation. We talking about Myles Garrett and everything. I forgot. Speaking of
talking about AJ Brown getting traded.
Yeah, then we went over to So I'm like, let's go ahead and just switch the topic.
Right.
While we're on this topic, I've seen enough of Lil Dylan. I really have. I've seen enough of Lil Dylan. And like I don't. All jokes aside, like I think he's done okay. Like with what he's been asked to do. Obviously, like I don't see him as a franchise QB. I don't see it in him. I get like career backup. That is the vibe I get, honestly. Even if Shador never plays at all in Cleveland, that's still the vibe I get from him. It really, really is. And I see Myles Garrett, to me, is frustrated. I think he does. The bigger part of him wants to win, but obviously he signed the contract because he wants to get paid. And I'm thinking to myself, how much longer do you continue to justify having not even giving Shador a chance when you have Dylan playing like that? Like at some point, like how do you, as a coach, keep looking at your locker room like, yeah, we're gonna go with Dylan. Dylan's our guy. Like at this point, like you're losing. You're not winning. Like if you were winning, I'm like, okay, well, it may not look good, but they're still winning games, right? Or it may not look good, but the offense may not look good, but Dylan looks really good in the offense. You know what I mean? He's at the one bright spot. He's got to get some more weapons around him, and they can start getting that offense together. But I'm not getting that vibe either. So how much longer as a head coach are you going to be able to look at your team and justify having him there and not giving Shador even a chance? Like for me, I'm like, is he beginning to lose the locker room? Do you think?
I don't think he's losing the locker room because Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. He's won Coach of the Year twice. I don't believe NFL coach can win Coach of the Year twice and not be a good coach. Their downfall came when they decided to take a chance on Deshaun Watson. who anybody at that time would have took a chance on Deshaun Watson.
Mhm.
Deshaun Watson didn't play up to the level that we all expected him to play up to. And so now you got them in this situation that they're in now.
Mhm.
I think, and it's very unfortunate that I don't think Shador or Dylan Gabriel is going to get a fair shake. And
Why do you say that?
And it's Cleveland's fault because Cleveland shouldn't have drafted Shador. They should have, if you were going to draft Dylan Gabriel, if you were going to sign Joe Flacco, trade for Kenny Pickett, and then draft Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round, then you should let somebody else take Shador Sanders. I don't understand. Maybe it was a favor because Handsome and Dillion are pretty cool, I'm hearing, and maybe that, and it was a favor that way. But it's not fair to Dylan because you see rookie quarterbacks. We just talked about Drake May. Drake May, his whole first rookie. Well, they started with Brissett last year in his rookie season, and then he came in and he played, and he didn't play well, but he got a chance to get that experience. And then he had a whole offseason. He got a chance to develop, and now we're seeing the fruits of
With a different coach.
Yeah, we're seeing We're seeing the fruits of that. Also, you look at a guy like Michael Penix in Atlanta. It's his rookie year. It's gonna take him time to develop, and then but you can see that just give him time, he'll be better going forward. We're not giving Dylan Gabriel, and don't get me wrong, he's not a 1st round pick, so you don't get the same luxuries as a 1st round pick as you do for being a 3rd round pick. But we're not giving him the same luxury of having an opportunity to develop because so many people want to see him fail. Same way with Shador. You got a lot of people want to see Shador succeed, but you got a lot of people want to see Shador fail. And it's like if you throw Shador in and he had one bad game, they're gonna say, "See, I told you he can't play. He's a backup," and that's not fair.
Yeah, they're just gonna say that. Yeah,
he needs time to develop too. So Cleveland, I like that Stefanski is going to stick with Dylan Gabriel. I like that from Dylan Gabriel's standpoint of getting an opportunity to make mistakes and to fail and still not have to look over his shoulder. But at the end of the day, at some point, Shador's going to get an opportunity to play. And then when Shador is in, he's going to have that same pressure of, okay, if I don't perform well, they might go back to Dylan Gabriel. And that's just not how you want to develop a rookie quarterback in the NFL.
I get what you're saying. But I feel like Shador has gotten the short end of the stick the entire time. Because he dropped off in the 5th round. When he got there, it was Joe Flacco's, Kenny Pickett, and then it was little Dillion. So Shador, didn't really get a chance to get any kind of reps. Little to none at all. And then obviously when they got rid of Pickett, and then moved up, little Dillion to the backup, I feel like, and even now that he's, the starting QB and Joe Flacco's gone, it's just him and Shador, and then I think they got Billy Zapp or whatever as well. He's still got a lot more reps, I guess, as he should. He got drafted before him, so it makes sense. I get it, but he's gotten more chances to develop, than Shador has, in my opinion. So for me, I don't feel like he's gotten the short end of the stick more as much as Shador has. I really feel like I said this before. I don't see where Kevin Stefanski likes Shador, and it don't have to be BFS because that's his coach, and every coach and QB are not going to be super close or whatever, and I get that. But there's just something about the way he never mentions his name. He always speaks generally speaking, he never just outright says his name. It's the body language. And that could be maybe him trying to keep his poker face, or, if he doesn't want to show too much emotion, that's possible. I don't know him, obviously, but it's just something I get. I don't think that he wants to see Shador win. I feel like he has him there, more so because I think if they got rid of Shador, the media backlash would be tremendous. And he wouldn't want that to overshadow, what's going on with the team. But for me, he wanted Dylan there. He's gonna do the best that he can to make, little Dylan look as good as he possibly can. For me, I wish they would just traded Shador a while ago. But I'm just like, if you're not going to let him play, you're going to keep bringing other players in, the Billy Zapps and things of that nature, then just let him go someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about Dillion from his teammates. I saw Judkins on Shay Shay the
Mm-hmm.
other day, and
I didn't
they
get a chance to
asked
watch it. What did he say?
they asked him about him, and he was like, "Man,
Mm-hmm.
I like Dillion." He's like, "We like Dillion. Dillion is a very intelligent quarterback. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be good. You know, we support him 100%." And he was saying that Big Play Gabe and Shador, they're friends in the locker room. They support each other and they root for each other and all that kind of stuff. I would say this.
They're professional.
Right. I would say as a fifth round pick, it's not going to be fair. You're not going to have the same opportunities as a guy who was drafted 50 slots ahead of you, who the coach really wants. It's not going to be fair. Unfortunately, and I hate to have to say this, but it's the truth. Shador is responsible for a lot of his own demise.
How so? You talking about going back to the draft or
Going back to the draft, going back to the pre-draft, then the draft. When Baltimore wanted to take you, if you go to Baltimore, you already started 4 games. You already got 4 games of film under your belt, so that other teams can see whether or not they want to trade for you to be their starting franchise guy or not. But
yeah, I mean, hindsight is always 2020, right? Like,
you're right.
We had no way of knowing that Lamar was going to get hurt, and be out for 4 to 5 games. Typically, like, that's not something you would expect. I can get why he said, "I want to go someplace where I have a chance to at least compete."
Yeah, but now you backing up a guy who's worse than Lamar, and I just think Dylan Gabriel has done everything the right way. And for him to have to look over his shoulder because Cleveland, and it's not Shador's fault. I blame Cleveland. Cleveland should not have ever drafted Shador. If you're going to sign Flacco, trade for Kenny Pickett, and then draft another quarterback in the 3rd round, and then you got Deshaun Watson coming back, and then you're going to take Shador?
Let's not forget they got Billy as well now. I mean,
Yeah,
was it
Bailey
Bailey?
Zappi,
Yeah.
but Bailey Zappi is a scout team guy. He's not somebody I'm really factoring in. Like Tyler Huntley wasn't somebody I was really look at Tyler Huntley. He's in Baltimore winning football games. Like
I mean, they won what, 2 games? What?
Well, they won 1 game. They just won this week.
So yeah, I mean, so then I'm like, I can't really go that much about Tyler, but go ahead.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but Tyler played well though, so I gotta give him his credit. But I'm just saying, why would Cleveland do that? That's why Stefanski, when they asked him about Shador, he sounds interested in answering the question because he got to answer a question about a guy who probably shouldn't even be on the team anyway from the beginning. You got to answer questions about a guy who is your 3rd and backup quarterback when you're trying to develop another young quarterback. I mean, it's just unfair to everybody. It's unfair to Stefanski. It's unfair to Shador. It's unfair to Gabe.
But you could have gotten rid of him. Yeah, you got rid of Kenny Pickett and you kept Joe Flacco, who we all knew was not going to be long-term answer. Like, we knew that. We knew it was going to be temporary.
Yeah. But
so you could have gotten rid of Shador then, and it wouldn't even be a conversation anymore.
Stefanski can't get rid of anybody. He's on the head coach. When you talk about personnel, you're looking at Andrew Berry and Haslam.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, talk to Andrew. I'm just saying though.
Right now, Haslam is the owner, and if you can see by his interviews, he's trying to stay out of it. He doesn't want his name to attach to any decision that's made going forward because he made the Deshaun Watson decision and that backfired on him. This is really going to come down to being on Andrew Berry. And Andrew Berry is the general manager. It's going to be up to him whether or not he trades Shador, whether or not they just get rid of him, or whether or not Shador plays.
Well, and look, the coach got to say that. I don't believe that Kevin Stefanski has no say or no kind of opinion at all in anything.
I mean, they respect Stefanski. I mean, when you get into the office and have the meetings, yeah, you're going to say, what do you think about this? And you're going to take his word upon what it is. But you got to understand, Andrew Berry orders come from up top.
Yeah.
Not from below. So if Haslam calls Berry and say, look, I need Shador in the game, Barry's gonna have a meeting with Stefanski. They're gonna argue about it. And at the end of the day, if He says, well, Haslam wants Shador in, then Shador is going to play. And that's all to it. That's why I say after this Jets game, after the bye, if Dillion doesn't play well, the decision's not going to even be in Stefanski's hand anymore. And then you can expect to see Shador in the game.
My thing is, read this comment really quick so I saw it. He should have participated in the NFL Combine. I don't look. Like I said, hindsight is 2020. But if we think about, if we're going back to the college season and whatnot, I can see why he did it. I mean, the whole conversation, the entire season leading up, was Cam and Shador.
That's media.
So I'm saying, we didn't really hear, even maybe it's me and I missed something, but I didn't hear any insiders coming out, at the time saying well, Shador is not viewed as this, he's not viewed as that, they're saying that he should participate and so on and so forth. That wasn't what they were saying, at least not publicly. I don't have any inside information, but publicly I didn't hear anything about that until the process moved along, and then more things started coming out after the fact, but not before. And typically, when people, you have enough footage on him anyway, right? Either you see what you like, or you see that you don't like it. Typically, those who are expected to go higher don't participate in that part, of the draft, because you know what you're going to get from them. It's whether or not you like it or you don't like it. So I can see why he said, I'm not going to do that part of the draft, because that's typical. I'm not mad at him for that. But for me, fast forward till now, I read quite a few reports during training camp and everything, and where they said that Shador had outplayed Dillion throughout the course of training camp. Don't know how true it is. Obviously, I'm not there. But leading up to now, I'm just when are you going to give him a chance? He might swim, he might sink. But I think that he deserves at least a chance. Because if not, then just get rid of him. There's no point in keeping him there to sell jerseys, like Nasir just said in the comments. Just let him go. And then just stick with Big Play Gabe, as you say, and we can all move on.
Yeah, it's a huge debacle at this point. I think Cleveland, they really dropped the ball on this one. They're in a lose-lose situation. They can't win. Everybody loses in this situation, and it's unfortunate. As much as I like Shador and I want to see him play, and I can almost agree with Nasir that he probably should have participated in the combine. I think he overplayed his hand. I think him telling teams not to draft him, that was another mistake. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest mistake came with Cleveland deciding to have 5 quarterbacks on their roster. You're not giving any of them a fair chance.
But that also tells me that you weren't sold on Big Play Gabe. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten Shador after.
A 3rd round draft pick, that's a huge pick. That's a pick where you need to get a guy who can contribute to your team. Mm-hmm. If you're not sold on the quarterback in the 3rd round, don't take a quarterback in the 3rd round. Take another linebacker. Take another lineman. Take a cornerback. Take somebody that can help you right away. Get Shador in the 5th round. And just bring him in, and then once Flacco flames out, then just go with Shador. Just do that, but don't take a quarterback in the 3rd round. And that's why Stefanski is so hell-bent on giving Dillion Gabriel all the chance in the world to succeed, because they took him in the 3rd round. That's a big pick. And I mean, general managers and coaches, you can lose your job by taking a guy in the 3rd round and he flaming out. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say it's a huge debacle. They shouldn't have drafted Shador. That's a problem. New Orleans need a quarterback. That's who should have drafted him. Pittsburgh needed somebody for when Aaron Rodgers is gone. That would have been a better situation.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Whole other conversation as far as that goes.
Baltimore would have been a great situation for him. Even if you don't see Lamar Jackson getting hurt, it goes back to your question that you asked me a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Since you have a backup that has some similar tools that the guy who started. Shador is not Lamar Jackson. No, he's not Cooper Rush either. He has some of the tools that Lamar Jackson has. Mm-hmm. That would have been a good situation. Mm-hmm. But him sitting behind Jalen Hurts, That would have been a good situation.
My
But,
thing is, I don't see a plan for Shador,
there's
and
no
I don't
plan for
see
Shador.
exactly. So if you don't, then you could have kept Flacco, you could have kept Pickett, you could have kept Dillion, and you could have sent Shador on his way. If you don't have any kind of plan for him at all,
Yeah.
like you don't really see him as, the QB for your franchise, or you don't like him, you don't think that he's as talented as Big Play Gabe, or whatever the situation is, for whatever your reasons are, you don't have to look, everybody's not gonna like everybody. Like he might like him as
Right.
like Sean Payton, who I can't stand, and like Russell Wilson. Sometimes it's like that. But my thing is, you had the chance to get rid of him a while ago. So let him go. Let him go
Yeah,
someplace
but
else where
it's
he
not
can get a
that.
chance, to play. And you
It's
could have
not
got
that
somebody else in
simple.
return.
It's not that simple. And even for
It
Shador,
can be simple.
I hate to
It
say this.
doesn't have to be complicated. It's
Nobody
going to be a
has
big. It's going to be a
no.
big media thing, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about it for Cleveland. That's why
But
they
that's
should have
going to
passed
happen
up on it.
regardless. If you
Right.
go the whole season, don't see him play, and Dylan keep looking like
Yes.
this, it's going to be a big media thing as
And
well.
guess what? Nobody had a plan for Shador. No matter what team he went to, whatever team he went to, they were gonna have the same problem that Cleveland Browns is having right now.
With 5 QBs?
Even if it was just 3 QBs, they were gonna have the same problem
Mhm.
that they have. Everybody's gonna ask you questions about this guy that you have no plans to play.
Nobody was expecting to go to the Ravens or the Eagles and expecting to play over Lamar or Jalen. And nobody in their right mind anyway. Because
Right, but we keep looking at the people who don't count.
Mhm.
The people that count, they want you. They want you in Baltimore. They want you. They know. Without same thing, I know. Lamar Jackson is injury prone. Most seasons he don't play the whole season. He usually misses 3-4 games in the
Mhm.
season. Okay, you're gonna get your opportunity. Jalen Hurts was just hurt last year. That's why they traded for Kenny Pickett. Kenny
Mhm.
Pickett increased his value last year because when he came in for Jalen Hurts, he played well.
Mhm.
That increased his value.
And where's he at now? Honestly, I forgot.
He's with the Raiders, and he might be about to start because Geno is
Mhm.
playing so bad. The Kenny Pickett
Mhm.
runners are coming up. So
Mhm.
I mean, you just never know in this league. Quarterbacks go down all the time. Jay Daniels goes down. Mariota is in the game. That's just how the league goes. You can't try to pick. I just hate it. I just hate the whole situation because at the end of the day, Shador is more of a problem than he is the reason why a team is winning, and that's unfortunate. I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. Nobody has a plan for Shador. So I'm glad he is where he is because at least he's getting paid and he's on the NFL roster and he's one injury away to a rookie quarterback who's 5'10", that you're closer to getting in the game with Cleveland than you will be anywhere else because nobody else wanted you. And the
I'm
team that
glad
did
that
want you didn't want them.
I'm glad that he's on the NFL roster. I will say that. But I don't like the situation at all.
Me
Like,
either.
I really feel like they could have traded him to a different team that obviously, like, once the season started going on, like, when they got rid of Flacco, like, there were some teams very
Yeah.
clearly, like, the QB situation did not work out. And
Yeah,
I
but
think
who
you could
was
have gotten
interested?
some. Huh? I mean,
Who was
I don't know.
interested?
I don't know all the conversations behind closed doors, so I'm not gonna pretend like I do.
Right.
But my thing is like you're holding him hostage there
They're
because
not holding him hostage.
they are holding him hostage because he can't move himself. Like he has no choice but to stay.
It
Stay
takes two
and
to
play.
tango.
Stay and play and stay or not play. Stay and get reps. Stay and don't get reps. Like he doesn't have any say at all. Like he can try
No,
to
you
talk
don't
to
get
them.
as a 5th round quarterback. You get no
That's
say.
what I'm saying. So
It's not
like
gonna be fair
they
for
have
you.
all the hands. And my thing, I'm not going to make excuses for them. Like if you're not going to play him at this point, then let him go because like, there's no reason for him to be there. Keep Bailey if you like. I read that Kevin Stefanski and Bailey have a good relationship. He really likes him. So rock out with Big Play Gabe and Bailey and whoever else you want to get. They got a whole slew of
No.
draft picks for next year,
Right.
and then move on that way and let Shador go someplace else, and just move on from the media frenzy, the media questions,
Yeah.
and rock out with
It's-
who you gonna rock out with. But let the young man go someplace and at least have a chance to compete.
First of all, it takes 2 teams to trade. You just can't give them away.
Of course, yeah. I'm not saying you can just throw him to Miami, of course. Like, yeah.
Another team has to be interested in taking Shador.
But we don't know if they are or they aren't, though. We don't know that.
We don't know. We haven't even heard any rumors. Usually you would hear some
Exactly. We
rumors
don't know either
about
way.
a team, but at the end of the day, I really can't imagine any team that won't take on them problems. See, the media
Well,
frenzy around him is just too much. I've
but
seen guys get put out the league because they
mhm,
were backup quarterbacks who required too much attention. That's what
mhm,
happened to Cam Newton. That's why his career ended sooner than it was supposed to.
mhm.
That was the reason why Tim Tebow didn't get another opportunity after he led a team to the playoffs, a division win, and the playoff win. He was never a quarterback again, because he was going to be somebody's backup, and everybody's going to be like, when are you going to put Tebow in? What about Tebow? Are you giving Tebow a fair chance? As a fifth-round quarterback, you don't get a fair opportunity. This is not high school. This is the NFL. You don't. It's not fair,
Well, life isn't fair in
right?
general. Like that's number one. But you still took him. So
They
what you
did.
gonna do? That's
They're gonna
my
do what they
thing.
do. They're gonna do
Like
what they're doing right now.
so there's no point in keeping him there for that
What else
because
they gonna do?
I'd like figure out a way. Well, there's a will, there's a way. I believe there's a way.
They're
I
gonna
don't.
play. Look,
I
they're
don't
gonna play
believe
him.
there's nothing that can be done to move Shador from that team and move
Right,
him
they're
on to
gonna play
someplace
him.
else.
They're gonna
Like,
play him.
and then like
He's
if you're not going to set him up, like for the best chance to when he does
no.
play, like then just let
I
him go
mean,
someplace else
no,
and
no,
start over.
no. If they determine that it's gonna be his time to play, they're gonna prepare him to play and play well.
I don't trust Kevin Stefanski with Shador at all. I don't.
Well, I think Stefanski is a professional. Until I see otherwise, now if I see otherwise, I'll be the first one to come out here and say, you know what, he ain't doing right by Shador. But as of right now, I can't say that. I can't say he's not doing right by Shador because he got another quarterback who he drafted in the third round that he needs to give all the opportunity in the world to succeed. And that's what Dylan Gabriel deserves. He deserves the opportunity to succeed.
And he's had it.
And he needs to have it for the whole season, in my opinion.
And he's had it. But for me, if Cleveland had a lot of hold on real quick. Cleveland had a lot of quite a few draft picks. Like you waited until the third round to get Dillion. And then you
Right.
went ahead and got Shador after you already had Joe Flacco, after you already had Kenny Pickett. Like you got Joe Flacco.
And Deshaun Watson coming back.
Yeah, is that too. You went ahead and made some trades and moved some things around to get you went out and got Kenny Pickett.
Right.
And then you added Dillion on and then Shador, which tells me that you weren't 100% sold on what you already had in the locker room. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten all these different types of candy, different samples to figure out what you want. I'm like that sometimes. I'll go get food. I'm like, I have a taste for this. Also, there's also that. So like, let me get this, let me get that, let me get this. So I get the best of both worlds.
And then you eat it all?
Don't judge me, okay? No, don't judge me. But I get a chance like to satisfy all my cravings because I get a chance to taste everything that I want to taste without, just focusing on one flavor. So
but do you eat it all?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But nevertheless, sometimes I do because I'm a fatty, but
some
nevertheless.
gonna get left out. 9 times out of 10, some gonna get left out.
But no, what I was gonna say was like my point is like you're not 100% convinced of what you have. That's number one.
Right.
And at this point, you have a lot more draft picks and there's a lot more talent, should I say. I don't want to say a lot more, but more talent coming out at the next draft, obviously. You need to figure out if Big Play Gabe is who you want him to be.
Yes.
The only way
I can do.
I don't think you're gonna figure that out if Shador doesn't get a chance. That way, okay. I honestly speak, I blame the media a lot for the Shador frenzy because the draft, because he kept falling further and further down, it became the Shador Sanders draft.
Right.
Because everybody's like, what's going on with Shador? And that created more popularity and more buzz for Shador that he didn't even really ask for, mind you.
No.
Fast forward to now, he's not playing. We see other players not really looking good. We saw Joe Flacco struggling. We're like, why is Joe Flacco even there? Right? We knew he wasn't going to be the answer. And then, now you got Dillion playing, and everybody's like, well, we see enough of Dillion. We see enough of him. He's not the answer either. When is Shador going to come in? If you let Shador come in, and look, it doesn't work out, then people will stop asking. Then they'll say, okay, now we get it because Shador is he's not good. then people will stop asking. But in the meantime, people are going to keep asking because we don't get a chance to see him at all. And we're wondering, like, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. You give him a chance and he fails. I hope that he doesn't, knock on wood. But if he does, then it's like, okay, y'all could be quiet now because he wasn't good.
Yeah, I saw that happen before. And it was with Tim Tebow. They kept saying, give Tebow a chance, give Tebow a chance. They gave Tebow a chance. And Tebow ended up winning the division and winning the playoff game. But they had a chance to get Peyton Manning next year, and they went and got Peyton Manning, and that was it. But my whole point is, I agree with you. The only way you give Dillion Gabriel a fair shot is to let him make mistakes, let him develop. He
has made mistakes, and he's still playing.
But you have to. He's only had one game where he turned the ball over. You have to, in my opinion, if you take Dillion Gabriel in the third round, unless he just falls off a cliff, which he hasn't, you got to keep him in there. You got to let him have all the time in the world, and that's unfortunate because we do want to see Shedeur play. I want to see Shedeur play just as bad as the next person do. But at the same time, for me, from where I'm from, I always got to root for the guy that had to take the hard road over the guy who was given everything. And this is where I will agree. This is the one place where I agree, where I say Shedeur is getting treated the way he's treated because he's Dion's son. He's getting all that immediate attention and all this frenzy because he's Dion's son. If he wasn't Dion's son, nobody would care that he got drafted in the 5th round and he's not playing. But
I don't think that's all there is to it, though, because Shiloh is his son as well. Nobody really talks about Shiloh.
Yeah, but he's not a quarterback.
Even in college, though, like people really talk about him.
Shiloh wasn't good in college.
But I keep saying because he's Dion's son, like because he's Dion's son, I'm like, it's more to it than just that. There's just something about Shedeur that people gravitate towards. There are people like that. You like people. Like, why are we talking about them? You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously a part of it, but not the whole part of it. Like his daughter, I forgot what's her name. I forgot her name. She plays basketball. Like, you never really hear about her, even with having that Sanders last name at all. Like, you just really don't. Shadeur's like the one kid out of all of them that you constantly hear about, even before he got to NFL. You know, like you saw him a lot more than the others.
Right, because he's the quarterback. He had the ball in his hand all the time. He was on TV all the time. He's doing it.
He got his personality. I'm saying that's part of it as well.
He got swag like his dad had. He just don't have the talent that his dad had. And so, your dad, when Deion Sanders, he didn't go to the combine. He showed up to the combine to do one thing, run the 40. He wanted to show everybody he was the fastest man there. He ran like a 4.1 at the combine, and they were like, all right, he's a top 5 pick. You're not good enough to skip the combine. You don't have what your dad had. And so I think he misplayed his hand, which is fine.
Nobody had a problem with it, though, at the time where he said he wasn't going to be thrown at the combine.
I mean, at the time when he said he didn't want to throw at the combine, I questioned it. I didn't have a problem with it, but I was like, maybe he should go. Because I thought that coming out, Cam Ward and Jackson Dart were the best 2 quarterbacks coming out. And then I thought Shedeur was the 3rd best quarterback coming out. So, and I still think that he's the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. But I don't
think Jackson Dart is better. I think he's more athletic.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean,
I use his legs.
If I just go off intangibles,
he's more mobile.
I think Shedeur has the best intangibles out of all the quarterbacks that were in the draft. If I just go off for accuracy, leadership, gamesmanship, just like heart, the will to win, to fight, I think Shedeur was better than all of them. But that's not what they draft quarterbacks off of. They draft quarterbacks off all that other stuff that they can see.
Shedeur requires an image makeover. What's wrong with his image? Y'all, what image makeover? I mean, when he comes to the games, he's not, I think sometimes he has on like basic sweats. Like, I don't see him coming nothing crazy when y'all say image makeover. Take off the jewelry. He has a watch on. I think his chain is not even that big, like the past few times I've seen him. Take off the jewelry and be less ostentatious. Am I saying that right? I hope I am.
Yeah, hesitation. I like that word. That's
When
a
you're
good
the
word.
QB, when you're the QB, you're supposed to demonstrate leadership qualities. How has he demonstrated that he doesn't have leadership qualities?
Yeah,
Unless,
I disagree with that statement. I mean, I disagree with the first part of that statement that he requires an image makeover. Yes, you're
uh,
supposed to demonstrate leadership qualities. I agree with that part, but all that take the
what's
jewelry
wrong with
off.
how has he demonstrated that he doesn't have leadership qualities? What has he done
No,
that
no,
says
no,
he's not a leader?
no. I'm just saying I
Uh-huh.
agree with just when you're a quarterback, you're supposed to
Uh-huh.
demonstrate leadership qualities. I just mean that in general, but I don't think he hasn't. I don't. He's not playing. He just. I mean, they show little stuff of him on the practice field, and he's energetic and he's dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I like all that. It seems like his teammates like him.
Yeah.
Which is a positive thing. I have no problem with the jewelry and all that kind of stuff like that. Like, if you can win football games, you can win
Mm-hmm.
football games. You can't, you can't. It don't matter if you wear no jewelry. If you don't wear any jewelry and you
Mm-hmm.
can't win football games, then maybe you need to put some jewelry on.
Mm-hmm.
So I disagree with that part. Jackson Dart wears his jewelry. Can you win football games or can you not win football
Mm-hmm.
games? Kirk Cousins used to win football games, and
Captain Kirk.
then they started putting the chains on, call them 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains.
Mm-hmm.
That was that's why his handle is Kirko chains,
Mm-hmm.
because he would wear the chains after he would win games. So I have no problem with quarterbacks wearing jewelry or that thing. I just, when he gets the opportunity, we'll really get to understand who he is as a quarterback and as a leader.
My thing is, I think when I say we, I mean people in general. Like a lot of times, I read comments. It's like everybody keeps talking about his image or about him as the person. I'm just like, when you look at him and you see him, what is he doing that gives this bad image that says bad young man? He's never
Right.
in trouble. We don't see him out, because I haven't seen it. I'll be on social media, but I haven't seen him out at the club doing nothing crazy. I see him, spending time with the kids at the high schools,
Right.
at the local hospitals. Like, those are all very positive to me things.
Right.
Image wise, like, even though he might wear his jewelry, he's still taking the time to go out to local high schools and surprise kids and whatnot. So to me, I don't see anything, and he's not being asked to do so. He's doing it on the fly, spontaneous at that.
Right.
And they're not actually booking him, to come and make an appearance. So I'm just like, when people say like, oh, he needs to work on this, work on that, I'm like, y'all, where y'all getting this from?
Right.
Like, he's not a bad young man. He's he's funny, he's charismatic. I'm like, leave him alone.
Right. He's a decent kid. I think he has a great personality. I like him. I like him a lot. He's Dion's son. I like him more because he's Dion's son than anything. Right. I'm okay with everything that Shador is going through. I really am, because his whole life he's been given everything. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's never had to compete. He's never had to earn it. And now he's finally in a situation where he has to compete and he has to earn it. And I'm okay. Especially when some of your behavior coming into the draft, even saying that I don't want to play with this team, I don't want to play with that team. It sounds like, like a spoiled kid, like an entitled kid who's never had to fight and earn anything.
Some of that's about him being black, if you ask me, because we've seen other people do it, and say it, and nobody makes it a big deal. Like, come on. Like, we've heard that before. It won't be the last time we hear it.
I've never heard of a person doing it who didn't have, like, his dad. When his dad was in the draft, his dad told teams, I'm not coming to your team because you can't even afford me. But his dad is arguably the greatest football player to ever play.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
I have no doubt.
Didn't the Mannings do it though as well?
Yes, but these guys are undeniable talent.
Eli was undeniable.
Yes, 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
No, before that, coming into the NFL.
Coming into the NFL, he was that guy.
Eli, you said he was undeniable to you. Really?
Eli was undeniable coming in.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
Coming out of Ole Miss, everybody knew Eli's going to be the first pick in the draft.
Because of his last name, or because he was undeniable talent without the last name? Like, if you didn't have Manning, you were like, he's undeniable.
It was both. Eli Manning was a great quarterback in my opinion.
Okay.
The man didn't get hurt. I mean, he took a pounding. I mean, he made some of the
Pause.
greatest throws. Yeah, pause. He made some of the greatest throws I've ever seen winning games would count the most. I mean, he had the most 4-quarter comebacks that any other quarterback had for 2 years. Now, he had some years where he believed in the league in interceptions. Don't get me wrong. But Eli Manning was that guy. He had a big arm, big stature, and he was a Manning. Same with Peyton Manning. Everybody knew Peyton Manning. John Elway was another guy who said, I'm not going to the Colts. I'm not going to that team. I just go play baseball with the Yankees because I'm a high draft pick in baseball too. Don't take me. Okay, so he got the counter pick where he went, but this is undeniable talent. I've never seen a guy who doesn't have undeniable talent say try to make his own play. It don't work like that.
We didn't see with Bronny? No?
Bronny didn't make his own play. His daddy made his play for
I know.
him.
I remember. I very much remember hearing Rich Paul say, "If you take Bronny,
Right.
like he will not be playing. He will be overseas someplace. Like you will not see him on your team."
Right, because Rich Paul has a lot of pull in the league as an agent. So if teams didn't listen to him, Rich Paul can say, okay, when this guy becomes a free agent, I'm not going to let him sign with your team because he has a lot of high-end clients.
He does.
So he has a lot of political power in the NBA with the NBA organization. So they listen to LeBron and Chris Paul. They got a lot of power. This situation is a little bit different.
My thing is, I think we're moving into direction, even aside from having a household last name or a dad like LeBron James or Deion Sanders, because these young men are making so much now in college and with these NIL deals, and they're making $5 million to play and all these different things, and their net worth is $9 million, is at 19. But they're not the same players they were. Like, I mean, I'll say that mentally, like mindset wise. Like they're coming in already with the inflated sense of self. Like, look, I already make this much in college. I don't necessarily need, I don't need your team in order to be successsul.
But
you know what I mean? You know,
do need that team.
When I say that, I mean because before they had to wait to NFL or NBA to make any kind of money. Like to buy mom a house, to get themselves a nice car or whatever have you. That day is gone. So now they're coming into it like, look, I'm like, they're not humble anymore. They're not like, oh my God, thank you so much for the opportunity. I love it. I need it. I appreciate it. My mom needs it. They're like, I already was making money. Like, I'm cool, so the vibe is different. How they carry themselves are very, very different. Players now, they're going back to college for more years because of the money. It almost feels like part of the love for just the game alone has kind of been lost. It's like, where am I going to go make the most money?
Well, it has been, because college was the place where you played football for the love of the game. But at the end of the day, you can get that NIL money, but it ain't gonna last you.
True.
If you want to keep your mama in that house, you better go to the NFL and you better play good, because that money can be gone. Like
That's
that.
true. That's true. That makes some good investments.
Right.
But since we were talking, I hate to do it, but since we're talking about the Sanders, we're gonna end it on this one, you guys. Oh man, this was like the most humiliating. I don't have any words. I'm just trying to find the words. This was like the most embarrassing loss. I'm just like, at this point, I'm seeing some college coaches, get fired. Brian Kelly is most recent to be let go from LSU. I'm thinking, is it time for Deion to try to hop on and go someplace else? Because this is not giving what it's supposed to give at all. And I know every game you're not going to win every game. That's a given. Some games are going to be bad games. You're going to have some great games, but this was just like a real, true belt to ass, like just spanking, like just like public humiliation, like in front of it was really embarrassing. It was really hard to watch. Like I was like, I didn't watch the game because I was like, oh wow, what's going on with the score? I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to get them watching get embarrassed. But I did go back and watch the highlights. And I was like, it was hard to watch. I had one eye closed. I was like, man, like what's going on here? I was like cringing watching it from my room. And it's like, something's not right. They say if you're not either you're condoning it or you're coaching it. And Dillion, to me, has very high standards, just as a man, how he carries himself, the way he talks to the team, the level of expectation and the standard. But it's not translated at all, it seems, with this bunch. I don't know what the heck. I'm like, maybe he should just jump ship. It's time to
jump ship. That don't sound right.
like,
that's not what we do.
I mean, look, I don't know. Just thinking about it, like if I'm in a transfer portal, like I come out of high school, if that's my son, I'm like, we're not going to Colorado.
Yeah, that's what those loser kids do. They jump ship.
We're not going to Colorado. That's number one.
But not Dillion.
And if my son's going in the portal, I'm like, we're not going to Colorado. I'm like, we're not going there. Like, we're not going to go there. I don't know what's going on. They need a whole new line of coaches. They need some different talent. I don't know what's going on, but it was a really awful loss.
No, when things get rough, you don't bail. You work harder. And
I don't doubt that he's not working hard though.
I'm saying he work harder.
Yeah.
Dillion is facing a real challenge at Colorado because the NIL has come into the game, and now players are not picking coaches necessarily based on what that coach can provide for them as far as teaching them the game and all that kind of stuff. They're looking for the big payday.
Yeah, they want the money. Yeah, they don't care about the money.
So there's a lot of schools that are paying a buttload more money than what Colorado can afford or is willing to pay. In my opinion, if you want to be a great cornerback in the next level, go to Colorado. You only get to work under the greatest cornerback to ever play the game. And Dillion, if you want to be a great D lineman, go to Colorado. You only got a Hall of Fame D lineman in Warren Sapp, sitting right there with all the knowledge in the world. Hell, every year, Warren Sapp runs defensive line counts for NFL guys who want to come get better. So if you want to be a great D lineman, go to Colorado. Or you want to be a great running back. Running back is your position. Well, the best running back I ever seen is coaching at Colorado and Marshall Faulk. Go to Colorado. Learn under that tutelage. Like, he has the coaches. Right.
So then what do you think it is?
Money. The guys, Travis Hunter was the only guy who was a 5-star athlete who was playing the position that Dillion plays and says, I want to go learn from the best guy. I don't care about the money. If y'all give me some money, fine. But whatever Dillion, this man went to Jackson State when he could have went to Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State right out of high school. He said, no, I want to go learn from the guy who played the position better than anybody who's ever played the game. I'm going to Colorado. Okay, if other kids had that same mentality that Travis Hunter had, then they would go to Colorado, but they don't. They 5-star recruits, and Ohio State is telling them, hey, man, I got $3 billion for you. Alabama is telling them, man, I got $4-5 million for you. Texas telling them, I got $5 million for you. Go ahead and take care of your family. And Dillion, they're not in that same position to be able to pay those guys like that. So now if you go to Colorado, you have to go because you really want to learn from the best. And that lets me know that a lot of these guys really don't want to learn from the best.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of them probably don't. And Dillion, I think I saw him say it like a few months ago. I was watching, I think, something on YouTube, and he was like, look, if you're asking about money, don't even come here. Like, don't ask me about money. If you ask about money, you're looking for money, I don't want you. I don't want that kind of player, and I understand that you want players that are going to be there, committed, they want to learn, they want to grow, they have goals, they want to get to the NFL, maybe they just want to get education, whatever it is, like they're there because they really care and they want to be first and foremost for anything. But looking at the team, it's like they don't seem like they even care to compete. And I'm just like yesterday, I didn't really see a team that I think Caden came there because he wanted to learn from Dillion. He wanted to be in that program. I think that's why he took a chance and went there and left that last year of eligibility to Colorado. So I think he's one of those players that came there for the right reasons. But the talent or it's not matching up because he looked awful, and he's looked awful in more than one game. But on Saturday, it was really bad.
It was really bad. Caden played at Liberty last year, had a good season at Liberty. He wanted to follow in Shador's step and be that next guy at Colorado because he was sold on something that just wasn't real. I try to tell people this.
What was he sold on, you think?
Colorado isn't good. They haven't been good. They weren't good when they had Shador and Travis Homer. They just better than they are now. When they had Shador and Travis Homer, they didn't beat anybody that was worth beating. And you saw what happened in the bowl game. They got embarrassed in the bowl game. They were 9-4, which is better than Colorado has been in the past.
A lot better. Yeah.
Since Dillion has been in Colorado, Colorado has been better than they had been before Dillion got there. But they haven't been good on the standards of what I see college football teams are. Like, I remember I was watching me and my mama always watched Colorado football games last year anyway. And we were watching Tennessee play Georgia. And she asked me, she said, could Colorado beat one of those two teams? And I said, hell no. They can't be never. That mean they're not good.
No.
They good for where they play at. But they're not on that level. And that's what I was trying to tell her. They're not on that level. And that helped her out because then she even started to say, well, Shador's okay, but he's not. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. He's a decent quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. Shiloh ain't good. And I started pointing. Now she was able to start to assess talent a little bit. I was trying to show her, like Joe Hart. I was like, he's good. He's gonna go to the NFL. Shepard. I said, all the wide receivers that Colorado got, all those guys are going to the NFL. Travis Homer, he's the best football player in college. He's going. I said, Shador is going to go. He's not going to go as high as people think he's going to go because he doesn't have a big arm. He doesn't run fast. He holds on to the ball too long, blase. But we can see he has all the other intangible things. So we were able to see that. And for whatever reason, people are so caught up in everything Dillion. We want to love Dillion. We want to root for Dillion, like I do too, that we're blinded by the truth. Dillion picked all the players that he has on this team. It'll be a bad look if he bailed on them. If you do bail on them after the season when you can take, like, Texas job might open up because I'm hearing Steve Sarkisian might make the jump to the NFL. Florida job is open next year if that's something you want to do. LSU job is open. I don't know if they were having Penn State job is open now that they got rid of James Franklin.
I don't mean leave right now in the middle of the season. I was talking about that.
Florida State might be a job that comes open if Dillion wants it because of his ties to Florida State. So, yeah, he has some places he probably can go after the season, but
do you think he should consider after the end of the season? I wasn't talking about right now in the middle, no, because that you can't do that. That's like just low class. But end of the season, do you think he should look into going to those schools that have the $20 million roster like LSU does this season?
I say it depends on the check that they give him. If they offer him because he just got a contract extension from Colorado this offseason. And they made him one of the higher paid college coaches. Dillion is an okay coach. He's not a great football coach. He's okay. He still is a young football coach, and he has a lot to learn. So you got to understand, when you go messing with that SEC, you go messing with that Big Ten, expectations are way up here.
They're very high, yeah, absolutely.
And if you make some of the mistakes he's made in Colorado, they're going to get rid of you. They're going to give you the buyout. They're going to pay you on your way. We're about national championships only here. It's not championship a bust when you're playing in the Big Ten and the SEC. Colorado,
those buyouts are crazy.
Yeah, Colorado will be happy if you get to a bowl game. That's a successful season. You got to a bowl game. In the SEC and the Big Ten, it's national championship or bust.
Very true. I get that. For me, when I saw that, I was saying last week of Brian Kelly that they didn't win this weekend, that he was going to be fired, and he was in fact fired. And I thought to myself, Coach Prime coaching at LSU, like what would that look like? Because a lot of times, like we talk about the talent that these schools have at the QB position. And a lot of times they look a lot better because they have so much talent around them.
Right.
When you have, your 5-star receiver, you're throwing to Ryan Williams, and you have, the 5-star, linebackers and so on and so forth. Like each one, like teach one, like it helps you look a lot better. You know what I mean? Like when you
Right.
strip them and then send them to Colorado, with a struggling, old
Right.
line, will you still look the same? And probably not, Going back to Shador really quickly, I do think that he could have benefited from not being coached by his dad at least 1 year in college,
Yeah.
and going to no, a tougher, like SEC, going somewhere like that. Because I think it would have been more challenging for him.
Yeah, it would have been good if he would have played in the SEC in the post style offense. That would have been good for him.
Away from his dad too.
Also, yeah, because when you get in that type of situation, you got to compete for that job. They're not giving you the job because Dillion is your dad. They're giving you the job because you're the best guy out here. You even look at Arch Manning.
The Heisman winner?
Yeah. Texas didn't give Arch Manning the job because he's Arch Manning. They wanted Arch Manning to be the starter last year. He wasn't better than Quinn Ewers. They rolled with Quinn Ewers. That's how I go. We play for big stakes.
But when Quinn was hurt, though, they still won.
Yeah,
It was like they
Ewers
didn't have any drop off.
Yeah, when Quinn Ewers got hurt, they threw Eli Manning in there. Arch Manning in there, let him play. But when Quinn Ewers got healthy, they put him back in there.
Yeah, they did. I get that.
Because he was better than Arch Manning.
And
at the end of the day, we playing for the whole thing. We wait on you. We'll develop you and give you time. We're not going to throw you out there if you're not the best guy out here. We don't care what your last name is.
I respected him, though, because he could have gone other places and played right away. I thought it was pretty cool of him. It said a lot about him to me character-wise, that he chose to stay and wait. Because he didn't have to. He had other offers.
Yeah, they paid him a buttload of money to stay and wait, too.
Look, he comes from family money, so I don't think that was like a phasing for him. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying.
Right. You're right. He got a lot of, he don't need the money.
At all, but I get what you're saying. But he's somebody else, like I guarantee you, because I think he's okay. He has some really good games, and some games it's like, whoa, like what's happening, Arch? Like what we doing? But they already put him in the Heisman conversation before, like before he even was a starter, like even as a backup, they're like Heisman winner, like, and then it's like, oh, like hold on, not so fast, people, like.
Right.
I know who his family is. We know who the uncles are, but let's just let this young man develop and, carve his own path. But, let's just say fast forward to him making his NFL debut. If he said, I'm not going here, I'm not going there, they wouldn't make it a big deal, I don't think. Even with his talent being okay, because he's not undeniable to me.
If Arch came out this year and tried to pick where he wanted to go, it wouldn't go over so well. But Arch, I don't believe Arch coming out this year. I believe Arch gonna stay all four. No, he's gonna stay all four because when he comes out, he's gonna be undeniably the #1 quarterback in the draft. And then because now one thing about Arch, he has the tools that they're looking for. He has the stature, he has the arm. His throw mechanics need some adjustment. Footwork, you need some work there. But as far as his raw ability, he has the raw ability, and he has the Manning last name, which goes a long way. Give him one more year. Give him one more year in Texas so that he can refine his craft, and then he can pretty much do what he want to do. He can go where he want to go. Right.
We shall see. So you think I'm gonna say Shador. So you think Dillion should stay?
Yes.
After the season.
I think whatever he promised those kids, he should keep his word. Don't be like those other guys, because one of the things that we pride ourselves on for Ryan with Dillion is that he's different from all the other coaches. That his word is his bond. That he treats those kids like his own kids, and he's accountable. And you see a lot of these coaches, like what they talking about with Sarkisian, So if some NFL team offering the money, he's gonna lead those kids. Even though you done went to their house and you done told their parents you're gonna develop them, you're gonna be their coach, you're gonna be there for them and all this kind of thing like this. As soon as you get an opportunity to go, you're gone. Well, I don't want Dillion to be like that. I want him to be who he says he is. And so, but at the end of the day, it's a business.
It is. It absolutely is.
So whatever he does, I'm gonna support him. Whatever he does, but if you told those kids that I'm gonna be here for you for X amount of years, then I just hope he would keep his word to those kids, because it seems like for him, it's more than just about football. It's about developing young men.
I get that whole vibe for him. Like, it's about developing young men, like how they dress, and how they present themselves on campus and whatnot. I definitely get that. So I like that he cares about them as men, and preparing them, for the actual world, be it NFL or like regular real world, corporate job or whatever. I love that. I do love that and admire that about him. I don't think a lot of coaches care. A lot of them care about, their job first and having their, vacation homes and their families. But I like that he has integrity. And I respect that. But at the same time, like I think about the first season they were there, and obviously when you're rebuilding a culture, it takes a while. This is the third season though, and I could have sworn I heard him say the team that he has this year is better than one he had last year. And I'm like, I'm not there, Dion.
No,
okay,
no.
I'm not there in the locker room with you, but my eyes don't say better.
No.
Don't say better.
I say that the wide receivers aren't as good and the quarterback is not as good.
So what do you like? How do you think? What do you think Dion needs to do? Because he's not about paying anybody $5 million to be the QB. Like he's not going to do that. So how do you think he begins to turn his program around and start winning some games?
I think it just take patience. I mean, he went and got a high recruit a quarterback for the future in Juju. You got to be patient with him.
Is Juju going to stay? I wonder. I be wondering, like, is he going to stay? Or is he
I
hope so.
I hope so. I think another year the offensive line is going to be even better than what they are this year. I think the offensive line is better than they were last year. I think the offensive line is going to continue to develop. I think the defensive line is going to continue to develop.
422 rushing yards.
It's ugly. They need a big time running back in that program too. They don't have a big time running back. I think they need to get a big time running back.
How do you convince one to come?
It's gonna take Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk gonna have to go to some key out and say, look, he's gonna have to take his gold jacket, he's gonna have to take his Super Bowl rings, and he's gonna say, look, I know what it takes. I know what it takes. You want to be great, or you want to go somewhere else?
Not you coming to somebody's house with the rings on and a jacket.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm Marshall Faulk, so what you want to do? And then you get to a big time running back. I just think it's gonna take time for these kids to develop. Every year Dillion is in the transfer portal. He's losing kids to the portal. He's bringing kids in, and it just how do you build team camaraderie and team chemistry that way? It's hard to just throw a football team together.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But before we get out of here, I got to shout out because we've been talking about him like the past. When we got out of here for the past few weeks, Aaron Glenn got his first win.
Okay.
OMG! I am happy for Aaron Glenn. They got their first win. They were excited in that locker room. Even though they won a Super Bowl, they won a playoff game. They were so hyped and excited. And it was really good. I think Justin Fields getting called out by the owner. He's like, man, I want to keep this. I want to keep this job. So let me go out and do what needs to be done, and have a good game. And that he did. It was a very, very good game for the Jets. Like they competed. To me, it's like the second best game after like the first game when they played against the Steelers. Like I hadn't seen this level of just willingness to compete. Should I say? From the first week.
This was the best game Justin Fields has ever played in his career.
Oh my!
And I think, I think it happens when you just forget about it. Just forget everything. And I don't have to worry about Tyrod Taylor coming in. I know the owner don't approve of me. I'm just gonna go let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it fly. I'm going to make plays. If I throw a pick, I throw a pick. Yeah, I'm trying to win the football game. I'm not playing not to lose. I'm playing to win the football game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm playing against the worst defense in the league outside of the Cowboys.
Mhm.
Let me just be free and play. And I think he was just free and he played. He was just himself. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see that Justin Fields, he shut a lot of people up, even if it's just for 1 week.
I
He
must say, I don't
shut,
know if he shut him up for a long time, but I think
yeah,
for this 1 week he did.
for 2 weeks because they on
Uh-huh.
bye. So for 2
Mhm.
weeks,
So
it's probably gonna be the best 2 weeks of his life.
do you think he's earned like he's like bought himself, if you're Aaron Glenn, are you gonna still stick with him as the starting QB after this
Oh,
game?
oh yeah, I got to. Out of what I just saw,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the team running around Justin Fields. It was a beautiful thing to see. I
Even
gotta
if you
stick
only
with him.
was 8 weeks, you only saw it in 2 games, you still
I
I
got
like
it.
it about Aaron Glenn. He like look, he's taking all the flag for it. They're like, you gonna get rid of him? He's
Right,
like, what kind of question is that? Like, what you mean? Like, like I'm sticking with him. Like, this is my
right.
QB, and I'm gonna stick beside him. So I like that. That he stuck beside him. I really do.
You
Because
gotta
sometimes
stick.
you stick beside your QB, you end up getting fired, and they stay.
Yeah, I mean, I like him sticking with his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We know what Tyrod Taylor is. Tyrod Taylor is the backup. Now, Tyrod Taylor would have started had he not hurt his knee. Every time Tyrod Taylor is supposed to start, something happened to him. He was supposed to start with the Chargers. He took a needle and it punctured his kidney. And then Justin Herbert ended up starting and he never looked back. He was supposed to start with Justin Fields, hurt his knee. Justin Fields ended up starting. I
See,
gotta play
I call that divine intervention. When
right.
things like that keep happening, it's just not meant to be.
Right. Some key happening to
Because that's just
Tyrod
crazy.
Taylor. Right. Right. So
God bless him. I'm like, wow.
I wish him the best. But yeah, I gotta see if I can ride this momentum from Aaron Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see if we can do this in Cleveland in 2 weeks. It's a good opportunity against a bad football team. Now the defense is good. Myles Garrett is gonna be out there. If you hold on to the ball too long, he gonna have another 5 sacks. Get rid of the football.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I gotta see if I can ride this momentum.
5 sacks in the losing game.
Yeah, it hasn't happened since 1990.
Oh my. Like,
Yeah,
yo, the analytics and that just be driving me crazy sometimes. I'm like, who found that? Like he's the first person in the first 2 minutes of a game to get sacked. I'm like, okay, y'all.
right.
Okay. Like who came up with that? Like where y'all getting these stats from? These analytics from? It's crazy. These stats. It's hilarious now. There's like a stat of some sort for every single thing.
Oh yeah,
Everything,
there
every
is.
little thing.
There is somebody. They got people that work that looks for these type of things. Researchers, that's what they call them.
I'm like, how do you find something like they're like needle in the haystack things too? You're like, huh?
Yeah, but it's not too hard. I mean, that one for 1990, Derek Thomas getting the 5 sacks and a loss. That one
Mm-hmm.
not too hard because all you put in the algorithm is last time a guy had 5 sacks, it's gonna bring
Mm-hmm.
up all the guys that got 5 sacks. Then you just find out which one of those was in the losing game, and then okay, I gotta go all the way back to 1990 to the great Derek Thomas.
All right, you guys. We have been on here. We did good today, you guys. We kept it under
Yeah,
2 hours, you guys. Oh,
yeah, we
clap it
did.
up.
Yeah, we
'Cause
did.
I told Nutty, I was like, I always try to get like I always have in my mind, okay, I don't want it to be this long, and then it always goes over. So today I was like, I'm gonna be intentional. It's not going to hit the 2 hour mark today. And I'm proud of myself, you guys. I really am. Because I can talk, If you let me go, I will go. So I appreciate you for hopping on here with me as always, to talk some NFL football. As everything just goes like what some teams like you're like, man, this team is like this, and then the next week you're like, whoa, like they're not what we thought we were. They're up here. It's just that constant roller coaster,
Yeah.
So right now, I don't know who's gonna be in the Super Bowl. I have no clue. If I had to like bet on anybody, I really don't know. I see the Vikings, no, JJ's out. Now I see Carson is about to have surgery, season-ending surgery. I feel awful for Cam Scatterboo. I'm just like, man. It's just rough. He was having such a great rookie season too. I think he's in contention for rookie of the year. Him to me, Emeka, who I think he's my winner. If I had a vote, I'm going for him. But Scadaboo was definitely in that conversation. So, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think
You know it's
Jenkins.
not big play Gabe.
No, it's not big play Gabe. Not right now. I mean, it's still early in the season. Let him reel off 4-5 straight wins though. Then we're gonna have to, talk about him.
Yeah, that's not happening. Not 5. Not 5 straight wins. But I appreciate your positivity.
Yeah, I believe in Gabe. I believe in him. I'm pulling for him.
Okay. I don't want to see him fail, but like I said, I don't get franchise QB. But time will tell. Because I could be wrong.
Time
will always tell all. That is for sure. That kind of rhymes with Shador. You heard that, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I wasn't even trying to. It just came out.
I don't think that was trying, but you like you said, you got some freestyle skills, so
I do.
I can't wait to have a session one day.
It's like I'm tired right now. I will give y'all a little something, but right now I'm just gonna chill. So one day I'll surprise y'all. A woman of many talents.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
All right, you guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Oh man, just follow One Man Cave and hey, look out for the raw side of things. We got a lot of good things coming down the pipe, Paul. So yeah.
You and the pause be killing me.
Yeah, that's about it.
Tomorrow, you and Sam, right? 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Tomorrow I'm not gonna be doing any shows because I'm gonna be with my family.
Yes, you did something that you did. Okay,
tomorrow.
Okay. So Thursday, right? It's Tuesday and Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, you guys. All right. So make sure you follow at One Man Cave at Raw Side of Things, right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Raw Side of Things, In the Game Network. I also Built for This Radio Network. We got a few channels that we got a lot of content on. But you go to One Man Cave, you can see
you find everything.
You can see all the content.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah.
So y'all make sure I go to One Man Cave. That's the one-stop shop for all the content.
Yeah.
And me, I just have my channel here, Just Simply Sports, you guys. So you know what time it is. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Good night, you guys.